Hey everyone, Malleo here. Today, I'm going to be explaining the mechanics behind one of the weirdest glitches in Mario Kart Wii. The glitch I'll be talking about today isn't an ultra shortcut or anything quite like that. This is the Supergrind. To give a brief history on the discovery of this glitch, we have to take a trip back to the summer of 2013. An old-school tool-assisted speedrunner by the name of Mark uploaded a video entitled New Strats by Using Hop Abuse. From the video, we can see the premise of what we call rapid-fire hop abuse. By pressing the drift button every other frame when you approach a change in the slope of the ground, you can essentially get stuck inside the ground until you either fly off the end of a ramp or stop hopping. This can be used to stick to trick ramps to tremendously reduce airtime. I even made a video showing what you can do using this technique on every single course, except for Mario Circuit 3 because that track's completely flat. Tool-assisted speedrunners began using rapid-fire hop abuse strategies in their runs, allowing us to shave off a tremendous amount of time. Let's fast forward half a year to December 2014, which is just over 4 years ago now. Another old-school Mario Kart Wii tool-assisted speedrunner named BlackieBoy39 uploaded this video. We were pretty taken aback by it. This was such a bizarre new strategy that would end up taking 4 years for us to completely understand. The main idea of this glitch is that it can conserve momentum obtained before starting the Supergrind, such as from a boost panel. So, let's break down how it works. We start by doing a right drift by these boost panels. If we drift at the correct angle, we can stop our drift and instantly start spamming B, which is the drift button, every other frame. This will cause us to stick to the road. We can then hold right to gradually make our way around the turn. If we were to just keep spamming B the entire time, you can see that as we continue turning, our nose digs further into the ground. This prevents us from maintaining our momentum, so our speed significantly drops. What we can do to counter this, though, is once our boost runs out, we can stop spamming B for 2 frames and then start spamming B again. As you can see, after this, we are seemingly parallel to the ground as we continue to hop down the straightaway. Look in the top left corner and you'll see our speed staggers between around 118 and 120 the entire duration of the straightaway. When compared to a ghost driving normally down the straightaway at 98 kilometers an hour, you can clearly see the tremendous speed increase. In July of 2015, about 7 months after the initial discovery of supergrinding, Rocky finished a 107.845 time using the Supergrind method, which was an improvement of about 0.6 seconds over the no-glitch record at the time. Fast forward to today, and the no-glitch record is 107.997 by Monster. After deciding to try out using the spear instead of the flame runner and optimizing the Supergrind a lot more, Thomas was able to bring the Supergrind record down to an astonishing 106.350, which is over 1.6 seconds faster than Monster. I think it's clear to see how overpowered this odd mechanic can be when courses have long straightaways. A few of us decided we wanted to try improving the run, so once we got to the Supergrind setup, I tried to stream my progress. I sat on stream for 2 hours without ever getting a proper Supergrind, and I had no clue why. I think I might stop streaming for now. I just feel like I'm wasting time because I don't understand how to obtain the angle that Thomas did, and I'm gonna have to wait till I hear back from him in order to know what to do, unfortunately. I got fed up with not progressing and decided to analyze Thomas's ghost to see what his inputs were like for his Supergrind in his record. You might remember earlier when I was describing how to perform the Supergrind optimally, I said that you want to hold right the entire time to make your way around the last turn of the lap. Well, I opened up Thomas's ghost in a ghost input reader. Lo and behold, there was something different going on. Thomas was alternating between right and neutral on the analog stick in phase with the B button. In other words, on one frame he was holding right and pressing B, and on the next he was neutral on the analog stick and not holding B, for the entire duration of his turn at the end of lap 1, and at the beginning of lap 2. What caught me off guard was that Thomas was not at all aware that he had done that. We knew that that series of inputs was so unique, it couldn't be forgotten so easily. As it turns out, there was a reason why Thomas hadn't remembered that he alternated the analog stick on every frame. It turns out that while making his best known time, to make rapid-fire hop abuse easier, he was using a rapid-fire hop abuse cheat code that basically tells the game, if you hopped last frame, don't hop this frame, hop the next frame, don't hop the next frame after that, and so on. Note that you can save a ghost while using this cheat code, and it does play back correctly without the use of the cheat code, therefore this doesn't affect the integrity of the speedrun. Anyway, as it turns out, the cheat code uses an improper button activator value. Normally, the B button is represented in the game's assembly code as 200 in hexadecimal, but the rapid-fire hop code uses a value of 280. Well, the code works when we press the B button, so it seems like it's working fine. In actuality, that value can be split into two components, the 200 value, which represents the B button, and an extra value of 80, which I'll elaborate more on in a minute. Let's take this a step further and see what happens to these values as the code runs. When we hold down the button activator, the game checks to see if we were hopping on the previous frame, aka we had an input value of 280, even though it should be 200. If we hopped on the previous frame, it subtracts the value 280 from the button input data before sending it off for the game to see what buttons we're pressing. As we continue to hold down B on the next frame, the game will observe that on the last frame, we didn't have the value 280, so the code will add back that 280 value to our button input data, effectively causing us to hop again. Well, what is this extra 80 value that I mentioned earlier? As it turns out, 80 represents something to do with the analog stick. Because the rapid-fire cheat code causes the game to subtract the 280 value on one frame and add it back on the next frame, it's actually causing the analog stick to alternate between neutral and whatever angle you think you're holding constantly. This analog stick alternation is significant for super grinding, because if you just spam the hop button, you can drastically change the angle that your bike is facing, causing you to lose what we would consider an optimal angle for the first turn of the following lap in Luigi Circuit. By alternating the analog stick every other frame, we actually don't really change what angle we're facing, allowing us to be properly set up for a good first turn of the following lap. To reiterate, super grinding allows you to maintain full boost panel speed for a prolonged amount of time by hopping every other frame, and this can be extended while taking sharp turns by alternating the analog stick every other frame. I hope you guys understand the mechanics behind the super grind as well as how much time it saves. Thanks for watching, and be sure to watch out for our new Luigi Circuit task that will be uploaded in a few days.